So Holmes is questioning this gentleman who clearly likes to drink. He gets a backhand that didn't connect for his efforts. Hi guys, my name is Joe and welcome to Fighting Words, the martial arts library. On this channel I review martial arts books and talk about other martial arts related subjects. This is a segment I call Media Fight Monday. So on the first and third Monday of every month, I take a fight scene, I break down the action, then I grade it based on realism and storytelling value. This is going to be more of a fun fight scene for me, because I was a tremendous fan of Jeremy Brett's portrayal of Sherlock Holmes, and I found a fight scene he was in Sherlock Holmes. So this is from the Solitary Cyclist, originally from 1984. I tried to look into the background of this. I couldn't find any sort of stunt or martial training for Mr. Brett. Apparently he was, pretty athletic in his youth. He did archery and, rode horseback and things like that. Don't really have anything for the other gentlemen involved. And I couldn't find any sort of fight or stunt coordinator. So I'm going to assume that perhaps the participants worked this out between them. Here's an interesting fact. Brett was actually left-handed. Holmes is right-handed. We're going to see if that plays out in this fight. So Holmes is questioning this gentleman who clearly likes to drink. He gets a backhand that didn't connect for his efforts. Now what's interesting about this, I have the sound off, but he's saying, just so everyone here knows, I'm defending myself. Now dude, the fight's over. The guy hit you once and stayed where he was. All you have to do is walk away and the fight's over. So from a self-defense standpoint, we're not starting off great. All right, we see this footwork. I assume this was done to sort of give the indication that Holmes is light on his feet. The thing is, he's crossing his feet a lot, which is generally speaking a no-no in boxing and most fighting. Especially if you're just standing right in front of the guy. If you cross your feet, your balance is compromised, you're sort of out of position. There are times to do it, but not when you're just like standing right in front of the guy. Now, what he's doing with his arms, this was actually called milling. You don't see it a whole lot these days, but you will see it sometimes, and it does sort of disguise what punch could be coming in. All right, straight lead, straight lead, straight lead. It's another straight. Ooh, body shot. I'm going to call it a hook. It didn't look like a hook. So we got a block and a big left swing. Now, with his left foot forward, that is how most orthodox or right-handed fighters would fight. So that would be standard. This was around the time, we're assuming the adventures of Sherlock Holmes are going to be, 1880s-ish. The London prize ring rules were still largely in effect. What might not be 100% historically accurate is that there was a lot of clinching and throwing under the London prize ring rules, which we didn't really see. So I think he's taking the idea of a modern boxer and trying to apply it somewhat with some anachronisms, like the milling and all that, to this environment. Now the thing is, like, a good stiff lead hand can do a pretty good job of maintaining distance of interrupting someone's attack, and he was clearly putting some power behind those. The block would be similar to what we would see back then. You don't see it as much now with the use of gloves and the emphasis on head movement. You know, ducking that series of swings. I don't think that was as common back then, but yeah, it's totally a thing that would happen. Body shots. Here's the thing, if you're not used to body shots, you may not respond the way that a trained fighter would. You know, most people are not really used to being, you know, hit in the solar plexus or the liver. So a good shot there might have a stunning effect on someone who wasn't used to it, or even some people who are used to it. As far as the realism of this fight scene goes, the crossing of the feet, not really a good idea. With that being said, it's definitely very close to what we might expect from bare knuckle boxing from this era. I'm not going to take off too much, so I'm going to say A- for realism. As far as storytelling goes, you know, once Holmes realizes he is in a fight, then we do see, you know, his more scientific approach, which we would expect from an intellectual like Sherlock Holmes, who in the books was supposed to actually be pretty handy with his fists, and also, I think, with a sword. So we see that more scientific approach being used against a brawler, against a ruffian. And, like, okay, you got the first shot when, you know, you sucker punched me, but now if we're going to have a fair fight, you're not going to be able to land anything. I'm fighting the way a smart person would, and I'm one of the smartest people you know. I'm going to beat you. So I think that storytelling really helped with that. There wasn't too much as far as the sequences of the fight. You know, like we didn't see a build up, but it was a rather short fight. I think it did the job that it was meant to. B+. B+ for that. Anyway, that's all I have for this week. Thank you for watching along with me. I hope you enjoyed this. If you would like to support the channel, or if you have any suggestions for any other fight scenes you want me to cover, please consider donating to my Ko-fi account. I'm going to put a link to that in the description, and I'll see you later.